class together in traditional East Asia. Dr. Du got her PhD from Princeton University, and she's been here for a few years at Western in teaching in the history department. Her research interests are in modern China and, well, modern East Asia more generally, but specifically also Chinese diaspora. So, without further ado, Dr. Du.
Glad I made it on time. Hello. It's weird to talk in front of the microphone. All right, so I think I'm supposed to talk about the courses I am offering, but if you have any question directly related to my courses, you're welcome to ask, right? So all my courses are history classes. But the content level are related to China as well as East Asia. East Asia sort of narrowly defined China, Japan, Korea. But broadly defined, we sometimes also including Mongolia, Vietnam, and sort of the region. So the existing courses include History 471, 461, 460. So all three courses are 400 level. That does mean it's more advanced classes, but there's no prerequisites. It means that even if you're a freshman, you're in theory qualified to take those classes. There's definitely no prerequisite in terms of whether you have taken any classes on Chinese history or whether you have taken Chinese 101. It's not required to enroll in my classes. In fact, I usually have a pretty mixed class. I have perhaps 20 maybe % of students who have taken Chinese language classes, but the rest are just people who don't have any background, which are perfectly okay. And I think that actually makes the class more interesting because people have a variety of different interests. Some are interested in history, others interested in culture, others interested in just sort of anything China. When I ask students why sort of you're taking this class. So it's a more diverse class compared to, I guess, the language class. So the differences among the 400 classes, is that class? So as the title suggests, modern China deals with China in the modern era, usually start from 19th century, and then modern East Asia, just including Japan as well as Korea. Traditional East Asia covers these three countries pretty much from prehistorical periods up into about 19th century. And I am going to teach a new course on contemporary China. Contemporary means pretty much we're talking about since 1980s. And I think many of you might be interested in this newly proposed course, which hopefully will be part of the new Colonnade program. So it will sort of match your more Gen 8 requirements. So why are these courses beneficial? Why do you want to take these courses when you're shopping for all sorts of? They will help improve your knowledge and vocabularies about China. We do mention lots of Chinese names. As you all know, history without facts, without names, people, places, objects, concepts, that wouldn't be history. So we just plain simple, you will increase your Chinese vocabularies, and that will help in your essay writing, I assume, in your speaking and understanding, reading, just sort of a variety of language level. And these courses will also allow you to communicate with Chinese people in informed, interesting, and intelligent ways. I don't know why I wrote informed first. It sort of assumed that if you don't take this course, you will not able to make informed conversation with Chinese people. I didn't mean that, but what does that mean? Why the history courses will allow you to make more informed conversation? Because Chinese are particularly interested in history. Even ordinary Chinese people commonly in their conversation will start, reciting some poetry from the 6th century, or will quote some sayings from Confucius, from the Analects, tracing back to the 4th century BC. So, which I will not argue is unique, but I think generally speaking, there is, it's more common that the Chinese, even the ordinary Chinese people do value a lot about their history and their classical cultures. So by taking these classes, and you can not only understand China better, but also just make more intelligent conversations, communications. These courses will also help you understand China, both the past and the present. Well, that's pretty clear. So if you really want to understand a country, a region, a person, even you do not only look at now, but the origins. How did he or she or the country came into what they are now? Right? That's pretty obvious, I think. And last but not least, they will provide analytical tools to understand Chinese history and culture. What does that mean? I think different disciplines teach you and train you different analytical skills. I think what I value about history, historical ways of thinking, one particular aspect is about perspectives. I will try to incorporate a variety of different perspectives in looking at history. So by demonstrating, how sort of stereotypes, for example, are created, and help you understand many different cultural aspects that may seem puzzling to you. For example, people often talk about, Chinese people love to save face, 要面子, right? Meaning they sort of, being super polite on the surface, they try to hide the unpleasant things, they're not direct. If I put it directly, they're not direct about what they really want, what they really mean, right? That's sort of one of the old sort of images, stereotype images. So, so the history class will talk about, how is this image created? When did this sort of image start to become popular? Who created them? And who were the audience at the time? Why did these images become popular at that particular time and became popularized later on? So this provides you a different way of looking at sort of cultural stereotypes and the popular ideas. Okay, I think that's all from my part. I want to open the floor to any of you who have questions. But history classes are the cornerstone, are the fundamental building blocks. If any of you goes on to go to graduate school for East Asian Studies Department programs or Asian Studies program, usually the language courses and the history courses are the very, very basics. I'm sorry. I love the rest of the disciplines, but that's not just because I teach history. And there are good reasons for that. They are sort of the funding, sort of basic building blocks for you to start your knowledge and training in Asian studies overall. And then you can add more to it.